How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, back again with some more Monster Hunter Generations Deviant stuff, and today we're going over the Silverwind, aka White Gale Nargacuga. Now, the Silverwind slash Deep Gale? White Gale? We're just gonna call it Silverwind because, wow. Silverwind Nargacuga is a little different. Silverwind Nargacuga is actually one of the few monsters who don't really deviate too far from the standard counterpart, but the one thing that makes him a deviant is actually wildly popular. But before we get to deep down into the Silverwind, let's talk about how to actually unlock this guy, because doing so is not as easy as it normally would be to unlock other monsters. Now, in order to unlock the Silverwind Nargacuga to hunt, you must first actually go offline. Yes, finally. Hey guys, you just jump straight online. Guess what? You gotta go back. Go back offline. Go to the story. Go to the village. Go to Poke Village. Right. Talk to the chief. This is if you have to do anything. Complete his first request that he gives you, and then it's just gonna be a 2-star bull drum quest. You know, I think it's bull drum, I believe. It's not that hard. Beat bull drum. Come on guys, it's bull drum. Then you're going to do his second quest, and then you're gonna talk to the quest receptionist. She's gonna have something for you to do, and I believe it is going to be the 5-star Nargacuga quest that you actually have to hunt in the hub city. So once you complete that, you will have the ability to unlock it by fighting this Nargacuga. Once you fight the Nargacuga, you got your White Gale. Okay, that being said, let's move on. White Gale Nargacuga. Now, White Gale Nargacuga is actually not very different, like I said before. He's not too different from the standard Nargacuga. The only true things that sets him apart is his fur coloring. He is actually quite similar to that of the Lucent Nargacuga, wearing which, you know, he has that bluish, blackish kind of fur along with the white striped fur and whatnot. Thing is, Silverwind is actually a little bit brighter on the whites. You can see more white than you normally would. Another thing that sets him apart is that he shoots sonic booms from his tail. I know it's crazy. They're actually dope. They're actually pretty dope, rather. He also has his tails erect and spiked out the entire time. Whether he's enraged or not enraged, his tail spikes will always be out, so watch out for that. Those are the main things that set him apart from being, you know, standard Nargacuga in terms of the appearance. Now let's talk about the attacks, so that's very important. Now we talked about the sonic booms. He throws out his sonic booms with tail swipes. Any standard tail swiping attack that he actually has will deploy a sonic boom. He'll do the tail spin, the 360 tail spin, the 180 tail spin, the half tail spin, the tail slam. All these attacks will give you the sonic boom. Now, when you get hit with the sonic boom, you actually have a chance to get hit with bleeding. Now, the exact parameters in which you get hit with bleeding from the sonic boom, I don't 100% know. Leave this one up to you guys to figure out. This isn't a video where I give you all the information. This is a video where I give you like 80% of the information, and the other 20 you have to figure out for yourself. Huh? Anyway, you can get hit with bleeding. You can get hit with bleeding from the sonic boom or the tail. Bleeding, if you get hit with it, will slowly like drain your health every so often. Now, when you move, that is. If you sprint, you'll get hit with the effect of bleeding, like your health will just go down. If you roll, the same thing. But if you just standardly walk, you're not gonna get hit with it at all. So that's one thing. But to get rid of it, you're going to want to squat down and just sit there for a bit, or you can squat and walk. You can eat meats, that can be steak or fish, and you'll get rid of it. Another attack that he has is that the further you get up in the levels, he actually has a double tail slam. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the double tail slam was first given to the green Nargacuga, which is debuted Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, whom of which had the double tail slam, I think. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But he has a double tail slam. That's what he gets that later on in the game. He also has a tail slam into a tail spin, which he only does, I believe, when he's enraged. So when he's enraged, he will do a tail slam, and after tail slam, he'll go into a tail spin, both giving off the sonic booms. Okay, now I believe the last attack that is actually different from, okay, no, there's 2 more attacks. He can go from his side swipes into his little stance where he like sits there and looks at you for a bit. Because before, normally he would do his swipes 1, 2, 3, stop, do a little roar, and that'd be it. Now he can do 1, 2, 3 into the prowler thing, so that way he can, you know, I guess move around a little bit more. The last attack is he can actually deploy spikes from his tail. Lucent Nargacuga and Green Nargacuga would do these attacks, but Silverwind has it now. He can deploy 1 spike that will actually fly in the air, and you can look on the ground for the shadow because it will track the hunter. and to see where it's actually gonna fall. Now, the higher you get up there, the more like spikes you'll shoot off. You'll shoot from 1 to 3, and they all have the same abilities. They can either track a hunter or just go off in the air, just in an arc for whatever reason. But with those attacks and everything out the way, let's move on to things that aren't his attacks, his weaknesses. Now, the Silverwind Nargacuga, he's relatively weak to anything. You can just go in here with a large stick and beat him to death with it, and that's totally fine, because elementally, he is not necessarily unstable, he's weak to everything, to a degree. You can use any element to actually go in here and do some pretty decent damage to him, but you can, for the most part, you're going to want to go in here with either thunder or fire. Both thunder and fire have the best, hit zone multipliers, I guess you could say, for the element. You're gonna really want to go in here with either fire or thunder. It doesn't really matter which one, but you can go in here with ice, water, or dragon. It really doesn't matter. Go in here with whatever weapon, and you can do some decent damage. But thunder and fire is where it's at. He does have a lot of hit zones, but most of these hit zones are just, when he's enraged. Normal monsters, they have a different hit zone when there's a break on that particular part, but for Silverwind Nargacuga, it's when he's enraged. So when he's enraged, his head has a different, hit multipliers. It goes from being exceedingly weak to blunt weapons to being weak to bullets. So it's kind of weird. It's an enraged thing, it's not a break thing, but that's that. On top of that, let's move over a little bit and let's talk about his gear. Now, we all know he's a deviant monster, and deviant monsters, they tend to have really interesting gear that I would normally go over in great detail, but we're like 8 videos into this deviant stuff, not really going to, so I'm guessing you guys already know what the deviant gear does. Get some deviant gear that speeds up the your hunter arts, and you put some deviant gear on. Once you get to level 6, you get a free skill, soul skill. Boom, done and done. We're not talking about it again, but we will talk about his skills in general. Now, getting this armor, you are going to be given evade, extender, and critical up off the jump. When you get your soul skill, you're going to be given evasion 2 and critical eye plus 3. That's amazing. This is clearly a critical set. A lot of people make critical sets out of like Silverwind, Silver Rathlos, and like that Fire Emblem armor. I can't remember what it was called, Lodestar. But this one is pretty decent all by itself. Critical up, critical eye 3. I mean, yes, it has no slots, but you have evasion 3, so that way you can either use it with adept or not use it with adept and give you striker, so that way you can, gem in a bunch of stupid arts and like bad. The armor is really good. The defense on it is really bad though, so that's a caveat. But moving from the armor, let's go to the weapons. Now the weapons are pretty interesting. The weapons they all do, guys. They all have the same stats. They all go from 140 to 190. Except the guns and stuff, but they go from 140 to 190, Blade Master, and they have a very large chunk of natural white sharpness. That being said, you do not need sharpness 1 or sharpness 2 to actually do anything. These skills won't do anything to the weapons. Like I said, it has maximum sharpness and it's white. Now it has a lot of white sharpness on it, and the affinity is plus 15. Now standard Nargacuga weapons have plus 40 affinity, but standard Nargacuga weapons don't also have a lot of white sharpness naturally, and they don't increase the hunter art gauge. So that's a thing. So with those weapons and all this information being given to you, I think that's it. I think I did it. I think I did everything I need to talk about with the Silverwind Nargacuga in like one breath, guys. I mean, this is one take. Let me know if I missed some stuff. I know I did. I do this intentionally sometimes. Like I said, I leave stuff out intentionally, so that way you guys can experiment and figure out stuff on your own, because I'm not going to give you everything. I'm going to give you most of it. Like, you're going to walk away from this video knowing a lot, okay? But you're not going to walk away from this video with me holding your hand fighting the monster. Kind of need you guys to go and do it yourself. But with that being said, everyone, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. I don't know what monster we're going to do next, so tell me, what monster do you want to see me do next for this deviant stuff? I want to knock these deviant videos out so quick, because I have an idea that I'm only going to tell you guys when it actually comes out, but I have an idea of a new video series that I'm going to try out. So we need to knock these deviants out really quick, guys. So that being said, take care. It's been your boy.